In today's video, I'm going to read to you a review, a Google review, that a homeowner left for a different roofing company, a door knocking roofing company. Then I'm going to read to you the response to the Google review from the roofing company business owner. And the reason that I'm going to do that is so that you can see one of the tactics that the door knocking roofers will use to convince you to let them on your roof. Now, why do I recommend that you not let a door knocking roofer on your roof? Okay, well, I'm going to say right up front that not every roofing company that comes knocking on your door is a bad company. I want to make sure that I make that clear. I kind of have a little saying that not every roofer that knocks on your door is going to rip you off, but every roofer that's going to rip you off will probably come knocking on your door. So that's kind of what you have to be wary of. And you think about it this way. If roofers are coming knocking on your door, which after a hailstorm, you're probably going to get, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 roofers knock on your door over the next week or 2 weeks. But here's why that's not such a great thing for you as the homeowner. So think about it this way. They're coming to you uninvited. It's not like you knew you had a problem or you knew you had an issue. So you reached out, you went onto Google, you did your search, or you looked in the yellow pages if you still have a phone book, and found a roofer and called that roofer and said, hey, can you come over and take a look at my roof? So you have not done any research on these door-to-door companies that show up at your door. You haven't had a chance to do any research on these roofing companies. They've just shown up uninvited. So here in Colorado, I've made this point several times in our videos that the Colorado State Attorney General and the Department of Regulatory Agency both tells Colorado homeowners, don't let anybody in or on your house that has come knocking on your door, because the chance of scammers, the chance of getting ripped off is much, much higher if you decide to hire somebody who's come to you uninvited, as opposed to you hiring somebody who you've gone out and researched and then invited to come to your home. So just remember, not every roofing company that knocks on your door is a bad company, or not every canvasser that knocks on your door is going to rip you off. But your chances of it are much higher than if you've been able to go do your research and hire somebody. All right, so let's jump right in and read this homeowner's Google review of a different roofing company. So this person says in her review, need to hire salespeople that can read. No soliciting means no, you can't ring my doorbell and knock on the door until I answer, just to try to sell me your company. We know who we won't be using when we need a roof. It's pretty plain, direct, to the point, and you can sense the frustration of the homeowner, because what it sounds like is the homeowner was intentionally not answering the door, probably because this was the 4th or 5th or 10th roofer that had shown up at her door that day. That's likely. That's what happens here in Colorado Springs. And so she probably just decided to ignore the door. But from what it sounds like in her comments, this roofer was not to be deterred and just kept knocking until she finally came to the door. Well, if you're the door-to-door canvasser, what are you thinking? How do you think that that's going to put a homeowner into a state of mind that's going to lend itself to them wanting to let you get up on the roof? And let's not ignore the fact that this homeowner obviously had a no soliciting sign. And that's what bugged her so much that she left a 1-star review for this roofing company. So now let's start reading the roofing company business owner's response to the Google review, so that you can see the tactic that they use to overcome the no soliciting sign on the door objection. And what I'd like to do is, rather than read the whole thing and then try to go back and break it down, I'm just going to break this into small chunks, read them, and then respond to them. All right, so the roofing business owner says, we are not selling a product. We are offering a service that is free to the community. Yes, that sounds wonderful, doesn't it? They're not soliciting. We can ignore your no soliciting sign on your door because we're not soliciting. This is what they train their people to say. So if they get a homeowner that comes to the door and says, can't you read the sign? It says no soliciting. This is exactly what they train their canvassers to say. Well, we're not soliciting. We're offering a free service to the community.
You're talking about your court-ordered community service?
So the next thing that the roofing business owner says in his response is, as a local company, we try to educate the community after catastrophic storms so you don't get taken advantage of by out-of-state storm chasers or scammers. And so what they're trying to convince this homeowner of, and the homeowners at the door, is that they're just there to educate you. Well, but if, Mr. Roofing Business Owner, if you're really just there to educate people so that they don't get taken advantage of by out-of-state storm chasers or scammers, why is it that when your canvassers show up at the door, all they're doing is asking the homeowner if they can inspect the roof? From what I can tell, I really don't think that when your canvassers are at the door, when the homeowner answers, I don't think that they're saying, hello, Mr. or Mrs. Homeowner. I'm here from XYZ Roofing Company. I hope there isn't really an XYZ Roofing Company. But I'm here from XYZ Roofing Company, and I'm just here to give you some information so that you can educate yourself so that you don't get taken advantage of by out-of-state storm chasers or scammers. Here's your information. Thank you so much. If you need anything, give us a call. Have a great day. I'm pretty sure that that's not what your canvassers are doing. I'm pretty sure that what your canvassers are doing are asking the homeowners if they would like to have a free inspection of the roof. Now, am I saying there's anything wrong with offering a free inspection? No, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. What I'm saying is that the way that these door-to-door canvassers are trained is to mislead you as the homeowner. And so my question would be, if they're not being genuine with you at the start, if they're not being upfront with you at the start, why should you trust them through the rest of the process? Moving on. Next, he says, we offer free inspections. Okay, no big deal. Every roofer is going to offer to give you a free inspection after a catastrophic storm. And here's, in my opinion, here's kind of the important part. And help walk you through your insurance claim process 100% of the way. That's what they're there at your door to do, to help you through your insurance claim process 100% of the way. Let me explain what the insurance claim process typically involves. And then you can decide whether or not you think that this door-to-door roofer is really going to do all this work for you for free. First, the claim has to be filed. Now, ordinarily, you, the homeowner, will do that. But a lot of times the roofing company will train their people that when they get in the house to talk to you about the condition of the roof, to convince the homeowner to let them get on the phone with you to call your insurance company to file the claim. That's step number one. The claim has to be filed. Step number two, an adjuster is going to come to your house to inspect the condition of your roof to make sure that you actually have insurable hail damage. So oftentimes a roofer will volunteer to meet the adjuster for you. Because what they think they're going to be able to do is get on the roof with the adjuster and convince the adjuster to either accept the claim as a loss to replace the roof, or be able to convince the adjuster that there are things that should be in the claim that maybe the adjuster won't put in the claim. So that's the second thing, that if a roofer is going to help you 100% of the way through the claim process, he's going to have to do. Then the third thing that the roofer is going to have to do is build his own scope of loss and his own estimate. Because here in Colorado, if there's a contract signed between a homeowner and a roofer, the contract cannot say for the price of the project per insurance proceeds or will do for insurance proceeds. There has to actually be a dollar amount there on the contract stating the price that the roofer is quoting that he will do that roof project for. So the roofer's going to have to build his own scope of loss, build his own estimate. Well, that takes time. Depending on how good he is at doing it, maybe that takes 10 minutes, maybe it takes an hour. Also depends on kind of the scope of work required for your house. If your house is huge and it's cut up, it's steep, it's high, like lots of different facets on the roof, well, that estimate's going to take a lot longer than just a simple plain old plain Jane roof. Part of that is that the roofer has to measure the roof. Now, he can either hand measure it for free, if you consider taking an hour to get on your roof to measure it free, or he can order an aerial imagery measurement through a program either called Eagle View or Hover, but that costs money. It can cost as little as $25. It can cost as much as $100. But to be able to build his own scope of work and his own estimate, he's got to measure the roof. So he's going to have to incur an expense to be able to do that. Step number 4 is the roofer's going to have to compare the insurance claim to his estimate to see if there are any differences. And then if there are differences, because he's got things in his scope of work that are different from what's in the claim, then a pre-job supplement request is going to have to be made. What that means is somebody's going to have to send that estimate to the insurance company and try to convince the insurance company to include the things that they're missing into the claim, so that way the price works out to the benefit of the roofing contractor. Step number 5 is the battle with the insurance company's desk adjuster if there actually is a difference. So remember, step number 4 I said was you're going to have to send the estimate off to the insurance company in case there are any differences. But step number 5 is if the insurance company isn't going to readily agree to the things that you, as a roofer, have in your estimate that you say is necessary to do the job correctly, somebody's got to talk to the insurance company's representative to try to convince that person to add those things to the claim. That can be a very lengthy process. That can take hours, lots of back and forth emails, lots of phone calls, lots of aggravation, lots of stress. Now that kind of work either needs to be done before the project or after the project. Okay, so step number 6 kind of depends on what happened in step number 5. Because step number 6 is once the project is all done, then an invoice needs to be sent to the insurance company requesting that the depreciation amount be released to the homeowner. Well, if the roofing contractor is doing that, the insurance company has no real need, no real compulsion to act on that very quickly. If you, as the homeowner, send that request to the insurance company, you're the one paying the bill, so you have all the leverage. So the insurance company is far more motivated to make sure that you're happy than they are to make sure that your roofing contractor is happy. They have actually no incentive to make sure that your roofing contractor is happy, especially if the invoiced amount doesn't match their claim amount. So remember what I said step 5 is, that big battle? So if the project is done without all of that stuff, all that battle already having been done, well, now that's got to happen on the back end of the project. So, homeowner, here are the questions that you should be thinking about, and maybe even ask the roofing contractor who tells you, I'm not selling anything. I'm just here to do a free service for the community. So here's what you can ask. Well, Mr. Door-to-Door Roofer, you've offered to do all this stuff for me for free. That's very kind of you. I think I would like to have you do all of that work for me for free, and either I'm going to do my own roof, or I already know a roofer who will do the work for me, but I'd like you to do all of that free stuff that you've volunteered to do. You see, because they're not there to just give you a free service to the community. They're not there to just simply educate you and protect you from out-of-state storm chasers and scammers. Now, I don't want to insult your intelligence as a homeowner. I know that inherently you know these things, but when you've got a door-to-door roofing canvasser or roofing salesman at your door telling you these things, he or she can be quite persuasive, especially if they start appealing to your sense of fear that there could be something dramatically wrong with your roof, and if you don't take care of it right away, you could end up with leaks or missing shingles or other problems like that. That can be a pretty convincing argument, but I'm here to tell you that you don't need to give in to those arguments. So when the roofer shows up at your door, knocks on your door and says they want to do a free inspection for you, and you say, didn't you see the no soliciting sign? And then that person starts to tell you, oh, we're not soliciting. We're just giving away a free service to the community. Maybe call them out on that. Tell them, yes, I'd like you to help me with the insurance claim process 100% of the way for free. And then see what they say. See if they'll actually do the inspection for you at that point. So then the last thing that the roofing company business owner said in his review response on Google was, I apologize if our knock was offensive to you. We are a local trusted brand in the community just trying to lend a hand and help rebuild your home to its pre-storm condition as quickly and as conveniently as possible. Okay, well, I'm not sure what he meant by that. But as conveniently as possible. I actually think that's kind of a nice statement, right? I mean, that's what we as roofing contractors want to do. We want to help make the process efficient for you. We want to make it easy for you. We want it to be done as quickly as possible for you. That's what we want as a roofer. But to say that at the end of all of the smokescreen that he just blew up to that homeowner is disingenuous. It's not sincere. And that's what I mean. That's what they're going to be telling you at the door. When they knock on your door and you say, didn't you see the no soliciting sign? All right, well, I hope this information has been helpful for you. If you've got questions about your own roof, whether you need a roof repair, a whole new roof, or maybe you've got questions about your insurance claim process, feel free to give us a call at our office phone number right up here, 719-433-6991. You can also visit our website, and that's right down here, homesteadroofingcolorado.com. We've got a ton of information out there for you, all of it educational. If you like this video, please give us the big thumbs up. Also, if you've got questions, comments, if you'd like to share your own story about door knocking roofers, leave a comment in the comment section down below. If you are a door knocking roofer and you want to comment, I'd like to hear from you. Leave your comment in the comment section down below. Also, we'd love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. Please click the bell icon up there so that way you get notified when we've got new videos. And until our next Walk in the Park video, I'm Tracy Bookman, owner of Homestead Roofing.